Congressman Jim Costa from Fresno, California, third generation family farm, and at the heart of one of the largest agricultural regions in the country, from the number one agricultural state. I say that because I think there are multifacets to immigration reform, and I want to focus on that because what you've heard here is a concurrent theme among problem solvers. I've been a member of this group since its inception, and I think our visit last Thursday and Friday was very important. It was a multiple visit for me to be down at the border. And every time you go there, I think I certainly learn new facts and challenges that we're facing. As we were informed, there are approximately 62 cartels that we are dealing with. And I think the president, the administration has had success in quieting the border, as has been noted. But I think to take that as for granted is a mistake, because we need to have, I think, bipartisan solutions in a substantive way that will provide a continued effort to protect our border, but at the same time fix aspects of our broken immigration system. And I think that there are multi-challenges that we are dealing with. Frankly, the cartels make their money, as was noted, by human trafficking, drug trafficking, weapons, and it's a multi-billion-dollar a year profit for them. And they are trying to ramp up the information that somehow there are ability to get asylum that does not exist. And they're doing it because they've lost revenue in the last year or so from their usual sources in which they have been able to make tremendous financial gain. So we need to combat about that. We need to be smart about that in a bipartisan way that provides continued protection of our border, because the majority of Americans, I think all Americans, want to have their border protected. It's real simple. At the same time, I think for common sense immigration reform, they understand, and I want to make it local here, that for people who have lived in this country 5, 10, 15, 20 years, they are contributed to the economy. They are paying taxes. And many of their families are what I call a mixed situation, in that a household of 4 or 5 people, 2 or 3 of them have legal status and 2 or 3 do not. And I think my district in the heart of the San Joaquin Valley is an example of that. Farm workers represent about 70% of the workforce in California. 275,000 undocumented farm workers in California help put food on America's dinner table every night. They're part of a partnership with our agricultural community. And without that, we would be in serious circumstances in terms of our food supply chain. We have, as has been noted, tried comprehensive immigration before. I remember the last time we came close was when Senator John McCain led the effort in 2013. And it passed 68-32 in the Senate. I think the votes were there in the House, but for political reasons it did not come up. So I think the approach by the Problem Solvers Caucus has been indicated by our 2 co-chairs to deal with incremental reform where we can solve some problems is what we must do. The farm workers, I will tell you, in my part of the country, for the last 8 months, have not returned to any sort of normal circumstances since the Border Patrol began making raids throughout California. There is a level of fear that exists today among that workforce that I've not seen before, and I've lived in the Valley all my life. Fear for going to work, fear for going to school, fear of being able to keep their families together. I mean, to think about that your families might be separated. The American Dream and Promise Act, I think, creates a pathway to citizenship with individuals with DACA and temporary protected status, TPS, and deferred enforcement departure. We need to work on that on the whole asylum process. Also, the Farm Worker Modernization Act, of which I'm a principal co-sponsor, reforms the H-2A. It would stabilize the farm workforce in the United States and would go further to establish a program that would allow agricultural workers, many of these who've been here for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the ability to earn legal status. And that's what it should be. We are a nation of immigrants, past and present. Certainly that reflects my family's story. Also, there is the food security, as we know, I think, as a third-generation farmer, represents national security. And therefore, when you have labor shortages, you have disruptions, you see that in the grocery store. So let me just close by saying it was a good trip. And I think we need to build on this with the Problem Solvers efforts and with our bipartisan focus with our two co-chairs, because it's not just about American agriculture or the people I represent, but it's also about small businesses, hotels, and other sectors in the hospitality industry that the president knows very well, and in construction. We can fix not only parts of this broken immigration system and the asylum process, but we can at the same time protect our borders, and we got to do both. So I want to thank my colleagues here, and we got more work to do. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Jim.